This is Damon Stevens with Finwell Pillars. Today is Sunday, February 27th, 2022, and this is stock market preparation for Monday. And this is going to be a challenging month. Tomorrow's the last day of February, and we're going to see how the stock market decides it wants to close out this month. We've had an exciting couple-day rally last week to close out the week off of the bottoms. And, do we hold that, or are we going to go back and revisit? That's the question we all have to answer, and we will see on Monday at least how the month's going to close out, and then we'll look at the rest of the month going forward. Let's get right into it, take a look at the charts, see what's happened, see what we can prepare ourselves for tomorrow. Just to start out here, I just want to show this is a SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF, and you can see here Friday or last week we actually hit the lows here. Right here at 411.14, which happens to be right on the 20 moving average. And we bounced off there. It had a nice fun rally for a couple of days up to 437.75, where we found resistance. So the question was, we're going to continue this rally, and then we'd have this big old long wick that we'd leave for the month end. And then possibly that could be a bullish momentum to show that the market's ready to start to rally up. Only challenge is we have inflation still a concern. We have all the things going on with Russia and Ukraine, and the market doesn't like uncertainty. So, do we pull back here, clear back down to the lows, and actually maybe break this 20? If we broke the 20, it's very bullish. Then we're going to have a lot lower lows for the market. So let's go into the charts and see what's going on. But this tomorrow is going to be critical for the end of the month to show how this wick is going to close out. Do we retrace it back and fill this wick in more? Or are we able to hold here and go flat? My thought is, we could probably swing both directions, but most likely my thoughts are right now from the uncertainty going on that more likely we're going to come back down. And the last support area we had was at 421. Now, do we hit the lows back here on the 20? It's possible if the market really has a bad reaction and there's a lot of things going on in the news, we could come back and at least revisit this 411 or maybe even lower, maybe 404. So just watch Monday. Be careful if you are day trading. If you're long with your stocks, just either got to hold on or make sure you've locked in some profits along the way. But let's take a look at what's going on. This is actually Friday. You see the market closed. Dow Jones closed up 2.51%, NASDAQ up 1.64%, and S&P 500 closed up 2.24%. So a huge rally. Looking at our color map, you can see that everything was solid green. It was just a really good day in the market. Our small caps were playing out. We didn't really have anything hit the scanner that was over 100%. And so didn't have any plays in that area. Look at earnings coming up this week. We have quite a few. Monday after close is going to be an exciting day. Tuesday is probably the heaviest day to look at, as well as followed by Thursday. But a lot of names here. We have Zoom, we have Lucid, we have Workday, HP, we have Plug Power, we have Baidu, Target, Snowflake, Okta, Best Buy, Costco. And a lot of retail. So it'll be interesting to see what retail, how they come out on their earnings. That probably tells a lot about what the spinning's like in the marketplace. Are people holding their money now and starting to save, or are they still spending? So we'll take a look at that. But that's our earnings list. I've kind of highlighted the ones that I'm most interested in. So you go ahead and freeze this page here if you want to take a look at what's out there and see what you might be interested in trading. But we will be trading these this week. Looking at Crowdstrike. I've been looking at a few other of the stocks in the security sector. With all the cyber tech, rumors and everything that you're hearing going on. Just looking for opportunities here, and you see Crowdstrike had this nice little rally up. Basically off this low of 150, clear up to 180, so a $30 move almost onto Crowdstrike. So, something like that in a day is an incredible move. Now, we were flat on Friday, so, do we hold it here, and does Crowdstrike now have a chance to move up with some of the other, cyber security technology stocks, or what? That's the question. But I'm going to keep them on my radar just in case, because there could be some opportunity here. You can see Crowdstrike did bottom out here 150. And so this could be, a potential opportunity for a double bottom. But we got to break over this 193 level, so we break this neckline if we want to rally up towards 217. If we can't break up above there, 177 support, if we break that 177, we very easily could come back here on a triple bottom to 150. If we break that 150, we have much lower to go. So looking to see if we can sustain that and see if there's going to be a rally in these stocks. AMT, American Tower Corporation, had a nice little rally on that. Came up to resistance. It did not break our resistance. Looking to see if we can get above this 233 and move back up towards this 20 moving average. We get above the 20 moving average. The next goal is 254. But again, we got to hold this area. Otherwise, we maybe come back down to 220 area. So just looking for a direction from the market to determine which direction we're going with this stock. Amazon. So Amazon closed up right above the 20 moving average. So you would love to see that. We're really looking for a move up to 31.27 is our next area of resistance. If we don't get up there, if we do actually full or pull back, we could possibly retrace back, maybe around the 2,900 level. If that breaks, we could come back down here to the bottom level where we found that support here around 2,800. So looking for Amazon to see what direction it's going to take, but we definitely had a huge run. It's very easily that we could come back and retrace at least 50% of that. Google had a nice run as well. So it's almost like a double bottom here. And so the next resistance area is really, where we sit right now at the 20 moving average around this 2,700. If we can break that, then obviously 2,800's on the next docket. If we don't, we could come back here towards the 200 moving average, 2,658, and then possibly retrace back to 2,600, or even down to 2,500 where we had the support. Apple had a nice little bounce here as well. We got just barely above the trend line. So we're out on the upper trend line, the lower trend line here. Can we get back up here and hold this? If so, 176.65 is going to be next on the list as far as our support. Our next resistance area. We have the 20 moving average here, around 168. So, can we hold this line? If the market does not hold, or we have it, continued news, we could obviously gap back down again, down to support around this 200 moving average, which is this 154 area. If we break that 154 area, 137.89 would be on the docket. So just watch the market. Definitely watch the preview of the market to see what's going on before you get in and trade. If the market's down, just be real careful. We could have wide swings in both directions. This could be a very volatile week, but tomorrow is going to be an interesting day just to see where the market decides it wants to close out the month. Boeing. So Boeing, it has resistance here at 204.60. We kind of tagged it and pulled back a little bit. If that continues to be resistance, we could come back here, back to the 188 level and revisit that. If that breaks 183.77, would be that next level of support. All right, for our next stock here, ExxonMobil. So, if the if the wars and rumors of wars and things are going on right now continue, we very likely can see rising gas prices and gold and some of the other commodities. So just be aware of that. That's possible opportunity for you to gain money if things continue to struggle out there. So continue watching Exxon. Exxon has been descent in this little descending triangle, looking for a breakout back to highs again here. And if we can, right now we're at 77.82. We were on Friday. As long as we can hold above the 75, we should be able to break out, hoping go back towards this high around 82.17. Tesla had a nice rally. We came down that 700 level, and Tesla seems to run in $100 increments. So we got down to 700. That did hold support for us. We broke back up. We got back above 800, 809. So do we pull back again? It's possible. This is still weak for Tesla, and we're outside the trend. So and we're below the moving averages. So it's possibly that we don't hold this level. We really got to get back here around this 856 or higher above the 20 moving average to rally back up. The next resistance area above that's 928. So if we can get back above there, we can possibly rally back up towards 1,000 and then 1,100 and then the 1,200 high. But if not, then it's obviously we could come back here and visit this 700. If they would break this 700, 650 would be the next one on the docket. So looking for, where we go from here based on the market. NVIDIA, nice rally up as well. Still close above the 20 moving average, but it got above the 200 and also our lower trend line. If it can hold this and get above that 200 at 245, then the next rally up here would be the 265 area. If we break back down, we have our trend line here. So it should be support here at 221. That breaks into 210, 208 be the next area for support. Facebook, it continues to have this sell-off here and this weakness. It tried to rally up a little bit. Thought it was a good opportunity, possibly, maybe we could start to hold this and move back up into our trend lines. That did not make it. So we'll see. It could very well pull back here, and if it does, it could pull back lower to this 170 area. If it breaks to 170, then 137 would be on the list. So looking for Facebook to see what it's going to do. Is it ready to start rallying back up here, or is it going to come back down here and revisit this low we had clear back here in March of 2020, which was 137.10. Looking at RK, you can see here it tried to bounce, but still, until it gets around over the 200 moving average here, around $80, we still have weakness here, and so it could very well pull back here off this rally. There's a gap, several gaps below. So 57.30, if it breaks 57.30, then we could possibly come down as low as 40. But continue to subscribe if you, and continue to share our videos and also like them so that we can continue bringing these videos to you, and hopefully it helps you in your trading and in your preparation for the week. And if you're ever, trying to wonder what to invest in next, hopefully these videos can give you some ideas. 10-year yield. You see the 10-year yield is in this little channel that we have right now, driven out here. So we got support here. You see it kind of landed right there around that 190. I really like to see this come below that if we want to keep, have an idea inflation's, staying low. But, at least it's down this lower area of this trend line. It could possibly break through here and get in this next channel that we have below. But it is below the 20. So I do like that. So we'll see where 10-year yield goes from here. Here's our oil again. We got back above our upper trend line here, up towards these highs. The high that we had before is 100, and we're here sitting here at 97. So hopefully we get back above the 100. If we go above the 100, then maybe 108, 110. Then they're talking about 120, 115. Is it possible? It's possible. If things continue the way they are, oil could reach those new highs. But for right now, just looking forward to continue to maintain the level it's currently in this little channel. The channel, is basically 98 to 100. That's kind of where we'll possibly sit for a few days as we consolidate before we break out, hopefully, the new highs. We don't break those new highs. We break below this 98 level. We very well could come back to this 90 level. That was been a big area for support. You see, we've been there for several days, actually a few weeks, and maybe we can find support here off that 20 moving average. The dollar, you see the dollar sitting here right up on these highs, 97. The elevation of the dollar, is gonna, weaken the stock market. So one of the things we have to be careful is these elevations. And right now the dollar is elevated. So VIX had a nice pullback here. Again, below 25 is better. Below this 20 moving average is better for the market to rally. But we could get a possible spike tomorrow again. We talked about the high of our trend line that we've hit it. You see here multiple times in the past, and I talked about this. If it hits the high again here, now it's looking at 42 area, 43 area for a possible spike up to tackle this line. If we do, we can see a major pullback in the market. So just be real careful. Watch that VIX. VIX is very important to watch in the pre-market as well as the first part of the opening. Gives you a good direction on where the market's going to continue to elevate up, or if it's going to pull back and come back down. It was pulling down on Friday. Monday it's elevated. Just be careful because the market will probably pull back. So again, the SPY, we're back to the SPY again. This is on a daily chart instead of a monthly chart. And you see here we're pulling right up to the 200 moving average resistance as well, the 20 moving average. So these are kind of coming together, which creates a lot more resistance than normal. So it's very likely to have a pullback here. And if we pull back, our lower trend line's at 424. also had support around 420 here that we were at before. You can see here back in January. If we break that, we could come back to our lows that we had last week, 411. We break 411, 404, and if we break that, 383, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. Hopefully we can at least hold above these levels and find some type of support. But it's easy that we could possibly retrace this big run that we just had, back to this 421 area. So looking forward tomorrow to see if we're back there. If we do, and we find support, then maybe we can bounce off of this area. If we're not, if we break this 420 area, very well could pull back here, this 411. So watching for the market to either move above that or below for direction and a trade. Triple Qs, still below the 20 moving average, still below all the moving averages. So, we got to get above 350 and hold that for at least a couple of days if we want to start rallying back up. If not, our trend line's back down here at 336. We break that, we got support at 334, and below that, back here to our lows around 314. So looking for the Qs to move along with the SPY and give some direction here on where it wants to go. Semiconductors try to get above our trend line here. You see just barely below the 20 moving average, barely above the 200, barely above our lower trend line. If we don't hold that and we can't break above that, which 275 is what we'd want to see for a few days, then we may break this line, come clear back down here to our prior support, which is around this 250 area. And you see that was support twice. So this looked like it was a double bottom and a breakout, but we haven't got above this neckline. We really need to get above this 290 if we want to really rally up. So looking to see if this is going to have weakness, maybe we create a triple bottom down here if the market remains weak. Dow Jones really had a nice rally off this bottom. We were down here at 322, clear up to 340. So that's huge for the Dow Jones. It's a huge run for 2 days. So it'd very be easy that we could come back and retrace this. If we do, 330.85 should be support. If we break that support, we could come back, clear back down to these lows at 322. So looking for, either a continuation play to get back above the 20 and the 200, which is going to be a big resistance. So it's going to be very difficult to get above that, I think, this next week, especially if there's a lot of volatility in the market. So just something to keep an eye on, but do expect possible pullback here from Friday. IWM looked like it had a double bottom in here as well. We had this support here around 188, had a nice rally up here, but we did not break this neckline. Neckline's around this 209. So we got to get above 209 if we want to rally up. If not, we're going to stay weak here. We may very well pull back to our trend line here around 190. If we break that 190, very well could come back here and possibly put a triple bottom in here, 187. Financials, XLF. So the financials here, nice rally, bounce off here. It looked like a double bottom. Actually, we've hit that bottom 4 times. So it's been a really good support for us. Hopefully it can continue to be support and we can, rally off of this again. But we've got to get above this 39 or this 40 level. If we can get above $40, look for a continuation play up here, hopefully to this next upper area here. And if so, what you really see here is really a consolidation in this channel. So it's really not been ready or had the energy to really break up to higher highs. So we could very well stay in this channel for a while and bounce back and forth, as you can see here. So looking, to get above this $40 if we want to rally back up towards this 40.38. If not, we can come down here and hopefully get support at this 39 level. If we break that 39, then 35 is the next level down. But hopefully we've held this. So hopefully we continue to consolidate and get enough energy to move up. But if the market's weak, it should take it a lot to break below this line because we've had such good support, but it's possible if we do, much lower is on the docket. So the energy sector continues to be strong. You can see here we're above the 20, consolidating really in this channel. And I don't have a line on here. I'll put one on here just so you have a visual, because sometimes that helps you to at least helps me to see kind of what that channel looks like. And this really should have been a bull flag here to break up, and it's possible it could, but it definitely has resistance here at this 70.50 level. And you see it's for a couple of weeks, it's been trying to break that level and has not. And actually, lately it's been on the lower part of this level, which typically means you got a retracement coming down. So could energy pull back? It's possible. They could pull back, but it's trying to hold on there in this channel and hopefully consolidate and get enough energy to break out to new highs. So keep an eye on that energy sector. Healthcare, XLV. So healthcare ETF sitting here right in this little channel of support and resistance. So we've got to break out of here at some point. You can see here we consolidated above that line and we had a high of 141. So we got to get above this 20, which we've not been able to do. This 131 and hold over that line at least for a couple of days to rally back up. If not, we're probably gonna come back down and revisit this area around 124. If we break that, we have our lower trend line here, and also the 50s, the 100 moving averages coming in here around 118. So hopefully those can hold support. If that doesn't, you have the 200 down here, 105. The technology sector, we look like, did we put a double bottom in here? Possibly, this actually is not even, so actually broke a little bit lower, but we had a nice rally up here. But right at the 200, that's resistance. We can't break that 200 and the 20. We have support back down here around 148.50, and then again at 146. If we break that, we can come back and tackle this low at 141. If we break that, 130 is back on the docket. So looking to see if technology can hold here, or if we're gonna have a little bit of sell-off. Bitcoin was trying to rally up here. It really needed to get above that 40 level and hold for a few days. It's really struggling to do that. So it continues to bounce off the 20 moving average back down. This is really, if you look at it, it looks more like a bear flag. So, if it can't break above that 20, this is a bear flag. It will fulfill itself, and we'll probably come back down to this 33,000 level probably and hold support. And hold support down 33,000. We have a chance to bounce off here. If we break that 33,000, we could come back down to 28,000, possibly down as low as 20. So not sure how far down Bitcoin will be, but definitely is very bearish right now. And you can see where our support lines are at. So just trade this one real careful. I don't see it, it's not showing a strength here. It's showing more bearish at this point below the moving averages. And you can see a bear flag in there as well. So Ethereum, that means Ethereum's probably going to be pulled down as well. You got a bear flag on Ethereum, and CRO also seen a bear flag here. So it looks like these may be coming down here a little bit lower. You can see our support lines here. So obviously, if you're interested in those stocks and looking at trading them, we put our support and resistance lines in here so you can actually track them and actually trade them as well. So all I'd say is just be careful out there. We are closing out the month tomorrow. We got to look at what the market wants to show tomorrow for, its month end. And that also helps to show you what the trend is going to be possibly, going forward. I was expecting March possibly to be a really good month. Now with everything that's going on, I'm not sure if it will. If it is, it'll have to be the end of March. We might see some type of rally. But at this point, at least from what I'm seeing, at least in the short term, is probably a continued pullback in the market. Could be wrong, and this is not trading advice. This is just giving you my take on the market. So be careful trading out there tomorrow. Continue to subscribe. Definitely like this video, and we'll talk tomorrow night. See how your trades went for the day, and where we think the market might go going forward. Everybody have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow.